to the CYFS podcast. It's our second week of second week of looking at teams, looking at the new teams. We're looking at 4 teams this week. We've got Platinum, Sky, Snow, and Cherry. First of all, let's go around the room and see who's here. First of all, the man beneath me, Tonio Qatar. Welcome to the podcast again.
Hey guys, good to be back. Just come back from Shotgun. It was a great round.
Well done, mate. A man who joined you in the Shotgun is the El Presidente, Ian Suarez.
Yep.
Suarez, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Welcome. Do you have a delay?
No.
Okay. How was the Shotgun tonight?
Actually, well, good hit out for myself.
Yep. 19 points.
Well run event.
Very good.
19 points.
Very good. We'll hear more about that soon. Jimmy Morrison, welcome back. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad for a Thursday. Got a wedding this weekend, so all guns blazing going into the weekend.
Where's the wedding at?
Ovolo, Woolloomooloo.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it should be good.
Donnie Morrison, how are you?
Yeah, good man. I'm just as a guy implicating my sources here. He spelt my name wrong, so that's not a great start. But no, great to be here with the crew again, with the committee. Looking forward to the predictions, especially Team Cherry tonight. I think they've been a hot pick of the bunch, so it'd be great to get through them.
Just while we're on names as well, I thought the Antonio's nickname had died of Lebanese Lobbies. I thought it was Mediterranean Mick now.
Correct, as the captain.
And speaking of Cherry, the ever reliable, ever punctual Josh Scadella, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
1 hour later.
AirPods tonight, mate, or got him in? Oh, perfect.
Got Sammy Sweetheart's headphones on because mine are dirty.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, we have just had a Shotgun tonight with Tony, Swar, and I hear 2 other captains joined you. Antonio, who was that?
Robbie Scadella and Mark Butler.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any good or bad signs out there tonight?
Captains won't reveal anything. It was a good round. I mean, it was very windy. It was wet as well. But it was a good round by 3 out of the 4 tonight.
Beautiful.
Mentioning names.
Okay. Josh, your latest round, how did that go?
Of golf.
Where was it? It would have been at
I lost the Kurt.
Barrel Golf Club.
I blew an unlosable lead to Curtis Dart. It still keeps me up at night.
Lucky you've forgotten about that.
Are you the reason that the rest of the world lost that whole match?
I reckon I was a pretty big chance. That was 5 months ago?
Yeah.
June it was,
Only as
I
good as last
erased
time.
that week from my memory.
It's a great weekend. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Oh,
The
fine,
trophy's just up there, but I'm sorry. I keep forgetting I'm at that's Foul Bay. I keep forgetting it. Not at home.
Have we heard anything from the undercover golfer this week? Any purchases or anything like that? Anyone knows of?
I have actually had word come through that a certain individual who made a bet last year has a freed up weekend. His significant other will be away from said living quarters, and he'll be using this time to get said tattoo done this weekend. So
Really?
I'm hearing that through a very long grapevine, but I'm hearing that it is it's happening. It is happening.
We'll believe it when we see it.
I think I'm hearing pictures might come through on Saturday evening.
It's the most talked about piece of artwork since the Mona Lisa.
Swar, can you talk us through the tattoo, please, and who the undercover golfer may be talking about?
Undercover golfer may be talking about one Daniel Lamana, who made a bet before last year's tournament that he'd get a picture of my face on his ass, which has now been retracted to a similar tattoo of a committee member has on his thigh, but I assume that tattoo is still going to be on the ass cheek.
I'm hearing upper left butt cheek. I'm hearing.
Nice to have
I've
it.
heard.
Fantastic.
Any others come through? Because I did hear another one, but I'm happy to leave it to the end if someone else has
Well,
more data.
I exclusively revealed in the group chat that a past winner's long-term girlfriend was coming up to Brisbane, to the Sunshine State on Saturday morning for a coffee to catch up with Team Cherry's captain and his family to discuss a route to victory.
Sorry?
I have
Oh, what?
So the Chief's girlfriend's away this weekend, and you've got someone visiting you.
no comment. I can also confirm I've confirmed it in the last hour or so. Another past invitational winner will be joining myself and my family on Tuesday night in the Sunshine State for dinner and some drinks.
Whoa.
Said individual may or may not work for Macquarie Bank. Said individual may or may not be up
They're a
here
banker.
on work.
Right. Do you have shares in Macquarie Bank?
Let's just say
What does their name rhyme with?
Draven Gayton. I don't know if that narrows it down.
Wow.
No idea.
Tony, did you know about this? It sounds like someone who may or may not be in your team.
Anyone
No,
about anyone's team?
I did not know. Did not know about this.
I would be keeping any of your teammates well away from that man, Tony.
I think so.
I'm more than happy to house may or may not be Blaze participants in my house.
Looking for that winning formula, are you?
The only other one I've heard is a certain B grader who may or may not be playing his first tournament has not picked up in a club in a while due to house renovations. Said house renovations are taking him away from the golf course. He's from a southern state in Australia. He's not to be named, but he'll be up here prime for the tournament. But I'm hearing he's not getting much golf in.
Is this man's surname named after a famous South New South Wales holiday spot?
That could be correct. That could be correct.
Mollymook?
Very close.
It's Christian Alabella.
Oh, is that Alatoa? He plays for the Wallabies. It could be very close to Salamander Bay if you're looking around that way.
Or it could not be. Who knows?
Or it could not be. Could not be. Could not be.
All right, shall we get into the team previews?
We should.
Well, there's actually one more. I was going to say that
one
I
more.
think one individual that's going to be joining the calls tonight is up to his third putter for this year.
Wow.
Is that all? Third.
Surprising, yes.
I thought you meant this week.
Stephen,
Sure, we'll hear all about that.
Surprised Stab's spending so much money.
The first team we're going to preview tonight is a very, very big team amongst the community. It features two previous winners.
What the fuck?
It is, of course, Platinum, with Marky Wells, Ian Suarez, Nicole Dart, and Sam Boyle.
Wow.
Let's go to Jimmy first. Jimmy, what's your first thoughts on this team?
To be honest, I wasn't listening. What team are we talking about?
Platinum.
Correct. I think they go okay. I think, like pretty solid. Sam is a bit of an unknown, obviously, but the rest of them are,
Very
quite
nice.
tidy. I reckon they'll go pretty well, to be honest. Top end, I think.
Top end of town. Donnie?
Yeah, for me, this team has two past winners in it, in their A and their B grader. Do I think they can win it? Absolutely not. I think they won't come last. Absolutely not.
Why can they not win it?
I don't think they've got the quality in B grade to start with. Unless it's raining and windy, I don't think they've got the quality there. Sam Boyle's an unknown quantity, but I think they do get more structure in the C grade field. And Marky Wells, past winner, not much you can do there. But Suarez showing himself to be a very valuable asset in Ambrose golf, so I would never write off a team that Ian Suarez is in.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it fair to say that Swar almost gets written off every year and outperforms every year?
No.
Well, is that true, Tony? What are your thoughts on Platinum?
Well, I thought, things looked good once the A grader got drawn out, but once the B grader's name got drawn out, I thought it was all downhill from there.
No.
I've had 2 years with Nicole Dart as our C grader, I think it is. She's probably their strength. I'm not sure about Sam Boyle, but I think there's a lot of it resting on Mark Wells this year for this team.
Chalk, you were obviously the connection here between Sam Boyle and the Platinum team. What can you tell us about Sam Boyle straight off the bat?
He's a good soccer player who has taken up golf in the last maybe 2 years, and he's started playing very regularly. I'm talking like twice a week this year. I've seen him play. I've played probably 3 rounds with him, and I've seen a bit of his golf that looks C grade level. But then I have also seen the other side of his game, which hasn't been that great. Hence why he's in D grade. I'd say he's at the top end of putters for our D grade. Jimmy, you'd love to hear that. So he's really going to help out Platinum on the putting greens. He'll probably knock in quite a few 6-footers for them. So I'd love to have him as my D grader. I think he's a pretty good D grader. Swar,
Swar, either one.
tell us your thoughts.
Oh, I was actually quite happy with the A grader I got drawn out with. I was hedging my
didn't
bets.
show it on the night, though.
What's
You
that?
had a very different look on your face on the night.
No, I may have had different look on my face, but I was very excited for my A grader. I actually went up and we had a beer or two after, so started out playing early, but I'm fairly happy that the team and the combo that we got, I think we'll go very close or even win it.
So
As-
are you and
as
Mark
I've said-
hatching a? Are you hatching a plan? Are you?
Yeah, try and
What's the game
another
plan?
team meeting sometime soon.
Swar, do you believe, Swar, that you and Mark share similar qualities on the golf course and that will hinder your chances? You're both long hitters. Like your strength is also Mark's strength. So how do you combat that?
I think we'll complement each other well. I think our strengths will actually help our team play even more than other teams. Other
We-
teams
we-
where they're relying on one player to hit it long and straight, we have 2, maybe 3 people who could probably hit it long and straight. So
That's true.
I'm quite happy with the team we've got. We've got a team of consistent hitters, like with Nicole, from what I've heard from Tony and what Tony's over the last couple of years. This seems pretty consistent off the tee. We've got 3 to 4 people who can probably hit it consistent off the tee. Chalk said Sammy Boyle can putt, which is going to definitely help us on the day. And we only need to sneak out 3 tee shots of Sammy's, and me and Mark and Nicole can unleash.
True. I do
So
agree.
I can't see
Mark
anything
Swar-
too wrong going with the plan.
Yeah.
As long
Mark
as,
and
like-
Swar hit it long, and Sam Boyle, when he does hit it, he hits it fairly long. And then Nicole can kind of be that, keeping on the straight and narrow as well if they do go away offline a little bit. Yeah, Josh?
Question for Swar. How has your golf game changed since being hit in the head twice by 2 members of the family at St. George Hockey?
I don't think I played golf back then, so
Can you tell us how you got the Harry Potter scar on your forehead?
no,
Maybe
I
that's-
won't. But for Jimmy's editing and the long-winded, I think we've spoken about this topic numerous times, so I think I'll decline that.
Jeez, Swar, thank you. Thanks for keeping the editing effort light.
Jimmy, do you have a question before we get on to the predictions?
No, I'm just going to say maybe it knocks some sense into me and start playing golf.
Oh.
All right, let's go on to predictions. Jimmy, where have you got them?
I've got them in third.
Okay.
I think on reflection, I think it's a bit high. I'll stick to it. I'll stick
You
to
obviously
third.
put them there for a reason.
Yeah, I must have been on something last week.
Tony?
Well, I don't know. Swaz says they can hit them long, but doesn't mean they can hit them straight all the time. So I've actually got Platinum in 11th this year.
Okay. Don, your prediction?
Yeah, mine. To be honest, this team, as I said, they can't win it, but they definitely don't lose it. I think they are in the middle sort of teams. They unluckily for them, just on alphabetical order, have gone to 9th for me. Could finish as high as probably 4th or 5th, I reckon. But yeah, I've got them in 9th place.
Okay. Josh?
9th.
9th. I have them in 5th.
Wow.
I think between Swara and Mark, there's some very good golf in there, and I think the C&D grader will be tidy enough and help them out. Ian Suarez, where do you have your team?
Everyone knows my answer. My answer doesn't change from year to year. And my
Nice.
saying goes, if you don't think you can win it, then you come to lose. So I'm saying we're gonna come first.
Fair enough.
Love you.
Don, did you record those to
I
give
do.
us the average?
I'm just putting it into the calculator now. So I had 11th for Tony, 8th for me, 8th for Josh, 3 for.
I had 9.
I think you both said 9.
Sorry, 9.
11th
Check your
for me.
stats.
11 plus 9 plus 9 plus 3 from Jimmy, 5 from Choc, and 1 from Swar, divided by 6. Where are we?
We're not doing committee members' tips.
We're not doing team
You
member
take Swars out.
Right.
team member tips.
Well, take Tony's out. They're both
Yeah,
outliers, aren't they?
We did.
No. Have your own team swag.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yep.
it's unfair. Like
Yeah.
All right, we have an even number of 7.
Ooh.
So their
Okay,
committee
right,
ranking
little
is
table.
7, which is very
Nothing
good,
wrong
I
with
would say.
finishing midfield. You just fall into the abyss. Not a problem with that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. That's Team Platinum preview over and done with.
Love it.
Congrats, Team Platinum.
Well done, Swar. We do have Pete joining us very, very soon. So I'm happy for you to jump into the Sky Team Choc. And I will get Pete in. Actually, why not? Why not let him in? And we can talk him through his team as he starts. So
straight in.
welcome.
Tell him who's in his team. Don't know if he knows
man.
who's in his team. So
Hey, Dave. This is Dave.
Welcoming Pete from Team.
Hello, people.
Still,
Welcome,
How are
Peter.
they? Oh, jeez.
Today, mate.
Have they got internet in Brisbane?
Salamander.
Nah, that's Mediterranean Mick in the background there.
Okay. All right, fellas.
isn't your wife from?
doing well.
Yeah, she's not here, so I can say what I want.
Where are the children? Think of the children.
Now, Pete, I'll just bring it out of the garage for you. Got it ready?
Was it left Rob's house?
Yeah. You picked up the keys to Savo. It's all yours.
Okay, lovely.
Rendered it out for the night.
What's that?
Kevin's rendered it out for the night.
Kev's gone off lately so far, is he not?
Absolutely.
Wait till we get to his team.
Here's my spinner.
We're going, Pete, we're going into your team. We'll just tell everyone who's in your team. Obviously, you're the A grader. Tom McCarthy is the B grader. Jason Devine, C grade, and Daniel Parmagos, D grade. Do you know much of your team?
Don't know much about him, but I've had a few messages. My B grader said he is having one of the worst seasons he's ever had and can't putt.
Sounds like he's A grader.
My A grader is definitely having one of the worst seasons he's ever had. And my D grader said he played his first game of golf this year last week. So he's looking good. I'm not sure on the C grader, but I believe he used to be a D grader. So
Yeah, look,
we're looking fairly solid form wise.
he was my D grader last year. He was absolutely shocking.
So we're looking good. It seems like most teams are just really playing for fourth anyway, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Oh, here we go.
Pretty much.
Here we go.
That's kind of where I'm at. So that's our goal. If we can finish fourth, we've basically won it.
So which teams have the top three sewn up?
Here we
I
go.
was just looking at my list. Well, I don't see how anyone beats Alaska. So you've got, if you go through the team logically, right? You've got Donny, who he's obviously scared of being an A1, so keeps sneaking into A2. You've got Jimmy, who's the best B grader in the comp. You've got Gaz, who's the best C grader in the comp, and you've got Chapo. Last time he played with me, he was better than Pat, and Pat's in B grade. So that's a no-brainer there. They should win by, I don't know, four or five, I would say.
Completely agree, Pete. I think anything less than a win there, I'd disband the family. I agree.
So yeah, I've got them well out in front.
The truck's definitely in Carlton. The truck's arrived in Carlton.
I've got them well out in front.
I heard it come past me, Danny.
And then sort of fighting out for second and third, I've got Cherry. You've got the best left-hander in the comp. You've got Lamana, who some of the scores he put in when he was playing for handicap was just unbelievable. So he can obviously play. He must just be out of form. And I have it on good authority from a trusted source that their C grader is better than Lamana.
Mm.
I've
So
heard that too, Pete.
I've heard lots of big things about their C grader. Even pre-draw, he was.
Yeah,
there was a circle around. There was a circle around his name as the one to get as a C grader. So if he's better than Gary Morrison, he's going good.
Like who's played golf for 40 years and he's off 24 somehow. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
exactly. And then the other contender, I'm not quite sure because I've heard rumors that their captain might be going to live. So is certainly judging by, I'm not sure if it's the same Tony Katara I play with each week that makes the comments in the chat. He sounds a bit like John Ram, so I've got to have them in the top three.
Are you on some scotch tonight or something?
Not yet.
Pete, one I had for you, we're playing obviously the third time out at Camden. We like, as a committee, we always struggle to talk about what the favourite hole to start on. This year, we'll go through the starting holes that you'll be on. What hole would you not want to start on? Which hole would you want to start on if you had the choice?
If I had a choice, I wouldn't want to start on either 4 or 9.
Mm-hmm. Long par fours.
Because I hit it out of bounds off 9 last year with my first shot. That's not really a confidence builder. I reckon probably the best hole to start on might be 6, the par 5. Because it's 2 decent hits to get there, and it's wide open, so you can get rid of, hopefully, you might get rid of your D grade drive early there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a birdie hole, but it's a tricky green. So, if you get off to a par start, you're not too worried about that.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of. I was looking on the website, CYFS website this week. Really good of Jimmy. He's got all the scores from last year and whatever I made on every hole, and I quickly calculated which were the hardest 2 holes and the easiest 2 holes in terms of birdies and bogeys. The hardest 2 holes are the 5th and the 10th.
10, yeah, 10's tough.
So Alaska will be starting. We'll get to that soon, but I do know
I think with 10's tough no matter when you play it, whether it's first hole, last hole, middle of the round. I don't think it makes much difference. It's a tough
green to putt on that
long,
one.
long iron for most people.
Yeah.
Hybrid. So yeah.
Undulating green as well, yeah.
There were a lot of stories come out of the draw night. Morrison's playing together, Barb and Pat, brother and sister. I think Pete not getting Lemon was arguably the pick of the bunch.
I was sure I already had the franchise. When that little thing was ticking around, it was getting close to Lemon. I was like, just one more tick and we're there.
Just fixing the draw for that. I just envisaged your wardrobe just having like 100 yellow-coloured shirts.
I reckon if you got Lemon this year, I think we'd just say, right, Lemon is Pete's from now on. You just get every year.
You've become Lemon.
Well, I've noticed that Gary seems to keep wearing that lemon top. So whilst he tells me he hated being part of the team, it looks like he actually did enjoy it. And Drakey's now in Lemon, so he's keeping it going. So 2 years in a row for Drakey. So yeah,
2 years for Drakey. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You've told us who's coming first. Who's coming last?
Go on, Pete. Go on.
Again, well, I wasn't sure, and then I spoke to Butler. And he said, the thing about this comp is normally the first thing you worry about is whether you're going to be last or not. Like, that's the one. Just don't be last.
Yeah.
And he goes, the good thing about this year is you don't actually have to worry at all because there is no chance anyone is finishing behind Team Apple.
Wow.
So I'll go with that as well.
Wow.
Of course.
Rob didn't look happy when the draw was made. I'm not sure why, but...
Well, that's also the second time Rob and Bruno have been together, right?
Yeah.
I did sell Rob a practice net though, so he's sitting that up in his house. I think he's got Curtis building some framework for it just now. But he's cutting it fine with only sort of 4 or 5 weeks to go.
You have to be careful he doesn't get a cut out of you, Pete, to put in the middle of the net.
That's all right. He wouldn't hit it anyway.
I reckon while we've got Pete on here, and before we let him go, I think we should give live committee predictions while we've got the man live in studio. So I'm happy for Chop to go first. Chop, Team Sky, where do you have them sitting? Just so I can get the community votes out here.
Yeah, I think Pete's a very good Ambrose golfer. Pete's run us through the rest of his team, and he's shown that their form isn't amazing. I've got Sky in 9th position.
Wow.
Jeez, that's a kick in the dick, Pete, isn't it?
9th. Okay.
Get the bus out for that.
Where have you got yourself? 10th?
Tune in next week. All right, anyone else? Donnie?
Yeah.
Oh, crack. I know you go first.
Go, Jimmy. I'm just doing the. I'm putting the stuff in here. Go for it.
So that game that Parmagos played last weekend was actually with me. I had a game with him and Barb.
He told me he killed a duck.
He has killed a duck on the course. It wasn't last weekend though.
Okay.
But there was a couple of dead ducks down at Cogra for some reason. But anyway, we saw 2 of them. So yeah, he for a D grader getting your drivers away, you'll have 0 issues. He can drive the ball 200, 250, no problem.
Oh, mate, just give us your prediction.
So it's very handy.
Similar to Paul Mercado last year.
Oh, possibly. I wouldn't have thought so, but sure. I've got Sky in 2nd.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Some good budget down in Salbay.
I think Tom McCarthy will go all right. I think Parmagos as a D grader is very decent. Can decently putt too, so I think he'll go all right.
I like your confidence.
Swar, man. Swar, where do you have these guys?
I've got Team Sky in 4th. As Pete said, they're playing for 4th. I reckon they'll get 4th.
4th spot. Okay, I'll put that in.
Josh?
7th.
7.
Interesting.
Middle of the pack.
Antonio?
I think it all depends if Pete settles on what clubs he's got in the bag before the Invitational. I've got Sky in 3rd.
Ooh.
3rd position.
He's
We're
some-
all done on the club front. There's a new putter just gone in, but that won't be changing. So
Pete, I will say before my prediction comes up,
Hang on.
I've got a load of teams. I've got a load of teams that sit between like my fifth and 10th spot.
Say this to everyone.
And
Based on alphabetical order, he's telling everyone.
Unluckily for you, alphabetical order has worked against you. You will be.
Apple should be right up there.
You will be in 10th position.
okay.
Where do you have yourself, Steve?
I reckon, 4th or 5th.
Fair enough.
Could we win it? Maybe. I don't know. We're going. Some of us are getting together on Sunday, so maybe I'll reassess that after Sunday.
I think we all know there's 12 teams that can win it. So, yeah. All right, Pete. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Fellas.
Enjoy.
Cheers,
mate.
Pete.
Look forward to watching.
See you on the
See you,
weekend.
mate.
See you, mate.
Guys. Bye.
always a good person to have on the pod.
Perfect.
Yeah, good
Got
value.
away from
Pete.
Facebook Marketplace for a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I will just butt in there. 5.8 committee prediction, so we'll round it up to 6.
That's the highest so far, right?
Yeah, correct.
So they'll be
think
sitting
you're
one
gonna-
spot above platinum.
Donny, you might even have to keep that original score because there might be like 2 teams on 6. This could get pretty tricky.
Yeah, I will probably have to go back through last week's just because I'm writing this into a spreadsheet at the moment. But
I'd be
yeah, I've
getting
got
the square
platinum
root of that as well.
and-
Just in case.
we will have Steven Stavropoulos joining us in 2 minutes' time, 8:45, for Team Snow. So, Chock, before he gets on, do you want to run us through the Team Snow, please?
Yeah, sure. Team Snow. James Dignan's the A grader, Stephen Stav, the B grader, Brad Hawkins, C grade, and former water boy Daniel Fornito in D grade.
Very good.
I mean, before we get started, is there anything Steve Stav hasn't done at CYFS golf level? I don't think there is. I
Just
mean,
an Osro, really.
it hasn't contested one yet, but I think that's it. That's the final step for Steve Stav.
Yeah, so he won King Fruit Cup this year, and he won the Invitational. It would have been 2021.
Goes a bit unnoticed, doesn't it? Obviously, it's noticed, but Steve Stav just quietly goes about his business, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Dangerously for Team Australia too, Stephen has been added to the CYFS Social Club, I believe. So he will have a handicap, which could come in handy for Team Row.
Yes.
So
Look,
I'll be keeping him on the
the big question mark next to his name, it goes without saying, he's Greek heritage. Look, I personally believe with George and Andy we have enough Greeks, but the decision was made well above my head, and we've got 2 more in place. So that's a decision.
Maybe you can give us back one of the imposters like Tim Wilson or someone.
That's why you're the row captain. Would you think of possibly dropping someone for Stav?
No, if we'll let that come down the day.
The day. What, you're going to take him as a reserve?
He's got to pay for all the accommodation, everything, and not play golf.
He can make all the teriyaki.
He'll be in the 10 cup as a 10 captain. He'll drive around in one of those Trevor Immelman carts.
but no, look, first, all jokes aside, credit to, I don't know if he's got the credit he deserves. King Fruit Cup champion in its new format. Credit where credit's due. He did it over the course of the 6 months.
He did.
Pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah.
I think when he joins the call, we should probably give him a clap as he strolls in, which he'll join us very shortly. He's been on the text, so he knows to join us.
Okay.
I will not be giving him any compliments to his face.
Strong one here, Tony. James Dignan, obviously new father, much like yourself. The golf game, does that deteriorate when you have a child, or does it stay the same?
Well, I think it all depends how much golf he can play between now and then, because I think he's on a downward spiral. I think he was trying a new driver the other week that didn't work out. So really depends on how much he can fit in now.
Very good. Jimmy, you look at this team. Fornito's been a water boy into a winner. I think that's one of the great stories of the tournament. His 3rd time around, does it get any easier for him, or does it get harder?
I think he's been there, done it. I think he's okay. I don't think it gets any harder. I think it can improve, but it doesn't get any harder. I think this team will go well. I think the team will play decently well. I think they got I think it all depends on Dukes. I've seen Dukes play like a man on fire. I've also played him seen him play like an absolute flop.
I think Dukes has struck gold with his B and C graders. I think they're pretty strong in that engine room, as some people like to call it. Good mid to short iron players between Duke, Stav, and Brad. I think they'll give themselves lots of birdie looks. It's just whether they can sink those birdie putts.
Yep.
Josh, what do you reckon about Team Snow?
Yeah, good side.
Can win it?
Well, I mean, anyone can win it. Do I think they'll win it? No, I don't.
Everyone but Apple can win it, right?
No, I look. You know, some may say I've got skin in the game there with Apple. I think they're a good sign.
I mean, Dukes has only performed well once, I think, in the Invitational. I mean, like positionally, he was what runner up to Brent, to Mason.
You had Dukes last year, Tony. Where do you, if say you were paired with him again, what would you want him to be good at or better at?
Speed of play.
Look, I think the question mark hanging over Dukes said, and he'd be the first to admit this. I think it was Invitational season 3, Team Imperial, George River, maybe season 2. Could be wrong. I'll happy to be
Yeah,
checked here.
unbeatable team.
Dignan, Morrison, Lamana,
O'Neill.
Stickerson, O'Neill.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to give me a better team on paper, I'd like to see it.
Missed opportunity.
I have said that he was the one that let that team down, and I still stand by my statement. His leadership was lacking on the day. He didn't make the right cart arrangements. All in all, he let the team down. He knows that. I'm sure he goes to bed at night wondering what could have been, but that's fine. That's what he does. Speaking of the man, the myth, the King Fruit Cup champion, we'll let him in here as he joins Mr. Stephen Stavropoulos.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
how are we?
Not too bad, mate.
Ella. Stav, welcome to the podcast. Obviously, current King Fruit Cup champion. For those that aren't aware, just tell us about what that means to you in your golf career.
That's the pinnacle. Other than winning the Invitational a couple of years ago, that's the next best thing, I think.
Hey, Josh, what's it like winning the Invitational or the King Fruit Cup?
Oh, look, I won the King Fruit Cup in its first year. I think everyone who's won the Invitational
As a caddy? Come on, mate.
Look, I'm on record as saying I think if you run the Invitational, you're a wanker.
Stav, I believe this is your third or fourth year Invitational?
I think third
year.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've won it before, which is a great achievement. We're playing out at Camden Lakeside. Do you think playing that as many times as we have now, do you think that makes it a bit harder because you know where you have to make birdies or not make birdies, or you think it doesn't really matter, you just play the course as it lies?
I think, like it is a tough course, Camden. So I think your tee shots are going to be very important. Getting the D graders tee shots, 3 of them in play, will be important, especially for Nito. So we'll see how he goes. Love the guy, but so if we can get 3 of his tee shots in play, I think we might be all right. I haven't actually played with the other 2 in our group, so I'm not too sure.
I hear you might be getting a look at their game in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, so 10th December we're having a game.
Wow.
Oh, that's a couple of teams out there. Good to hear.
Little warm-up round. So we'll see how they go, see how we go. And I think, whatever happens on the day, have a good day regardless. But just whoever turns up, I think we'll get the...
What aspects of their game are you hoping they're really good at? Your A grader and your C grader?
I think short game is going to be important.
Jimmy would love to hear that.
Chipping, putting, getting giving birdie chances basically.
Yeah.
So
I think your team is pretty well served in that department.
Yeah, so I can hit fairly long, not always straight, but fairly long generally. So we'll see how we go on the day.
We were talking about new purchases before, Stav, and I was lucky enough to play around with you not that long ago, and you had a new Titleist TSR driver in the bag. Is that still in the equipment?
It's still in the bag.
Talk us through the setup. What have you got fitted to the club? Anything like that? Can you give us some insight?
Oh, no, I can't disclose that.
Was that inspired by one Chief Lamana?
Nothing to do with him.
How's your old man feeling making his debut this year? Have you given him any tips?
Oh, Tony's been having practice swings in the front yard, mate. He's ready to go.
Good, he's getting amongst it.
No, he's good. We played on the week. We played last week, and we had a game at Liverpool. Decent round.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, for him, it's just going to be obviously. I think his consistency. He can hit shots as good as an A grader, but also has his mistakes in there. So I think if he's on, he'll be all right. He'll a C grade.
I think I think T Stab should have been in B2. I think he's a good C grader.
I think he's a good C grader too.
Absolutely, mate. He's a good C grader.
He's a bit out of form, but if he finds his form before the comp, he'll be very, very handy on a day.
So big news.
Yeah,
Big news for you and the ethnic community this week. Sydney Olympic back into the second division. Will you be down there with your
my old
Bazooki
club?
Belmore Sports? Or?
Yeah, my old club. Nah.
Have you got the Bazooki out of the cupboard yet? You're going to be taking it down to the club?
Wouldn't have a clue.
Bullshit.
No idea. Lacquer on now.
Stav, obviously last year you had some really excellent leadership in your team that sort of led you to a pretty good position. This year you've got James Dignan in there. Are you scared that he doesn't quite have the leadership skills to take you to the new horizons?
So I've actually never played with him. Ooh. So I'm not sure how we're gonna sort of blend on the day.
He's a bit of a testy character. I wouldn't get on his bad side.
If you hit one bad shot, he will just berate you.
Best to avoid karting with him, I'd say.
I'll need Morrison.
Stav, we're going to do what we did with our last person we had on the line. We're going to actually keep you on here while we go through our predictions. So you can take this as you will. Before we start, where do you realistically think you'll finish on the day?
Again, I don't know too much about our C grader and our A grader, so I don't know. I'd hope to say top 5. I'd hope to say.
Lovely.
Top 5 without being too cocky. Reasonable. But again, I'd have to obviously see the boys play, and then I can make obviously a more better call, I guess, on where we finish.
I've got another quick one for you before I hand it over to Tony for his prediction. Will you reveal your score on the 10th of December, or will you keep that under wraps?
Depends what it is. I'll reveal a score. I don't know about this score.
Antonio Guitar, go for it. Let us know.
I've got Snow coming in at 5th, actually.
5th spot.
Yeah.
Not bad. Choco?
Yeah, I'm not far off there either. I've got them in 6th position.
6th position, not bad. Jimmy, where have you got him?
Yeah, I'm not far off that either. I've got him in 9th.
Oh,
sliding down.
Swar man, please lift the quality of this.
I've got them in 5th.
5th spot. Lovely.
Yeah, my biggest concern is Dignan as captain. That's my biggest concern.
Josh, I can see you've rejoined as Steve Stavish, your little alias down there. What position do you have these guys in? No, really good. He's on mute.
Coming last.
I will give my prediction. I've actually got Snow in 3rd position. I think they've got the all-round game to be able to actually go on with it. Yeah, I think I've seen Stav's ability. We know Dukes plays week in, week out, so I think they're a chance. Scully, where do you have these guys?
I have Team Snow in 6th.
6th position. Lovely. I think that's
quite similar there, apart from
I think this could probably be our highest prediction so far. So let me just get this in from the committee.
That being said, I'm always really salty at people that come in their first year and win the Invitational. So I wouldn't care if they finish last.
Yeah, me too.
So Team Sky, who we had on before, were 5.8, which we round them up to 6. We've actually got Team Snow in 5.6 repeater, so they're actually ranked as our highest team so far. So we might put you in 5th spot for now, Stav. But thank you for joining the committee on the call. We look forward to seeing you. I'll be out there on the 10th of December, so I'll be lurking in the bushes like Sly usually does. So looking forward to seeing you and your team out there.
I'll see you and your rangefinder in the bushes, mate.
It's called a telescope, don't worry.
Yeah, it's not his rangefinder.
Thanks, Stav.
See you later. Thank you very much.
See you, mate.
That's one of those ones. Is that your rangefinder, or are you happy to see me? Anyway,
so Don, if they're the highest,
yes.
Where do we have Royal and whoever else we predicted last week?
to be honest, I didn't keep those stats. I will have to look through, but
No worries.
at the moment, yeah, we've got them. I'm going to put them in 6th. They're 5.6 repeater, which is pretty good. Pretty good spot. They're currently ranked at highest because I reckon Royal were a bit further down last week.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think I had Royal in first.
Maybe. I'll check back through
Third.
if I
I
have
had Royal
time.
in third.
Anyway, now the
Anyway.
moment we've all been waiting for.
Correct.
The
It's
reason
time.
people have tuned in for this
For
podcast.
sure, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
We move over to Team Cherry with Josh Scadella, Daniel Lamana, David the Iceman Blizzard, and Pete Wills. Josh, let's go to you first.
Hello.
You obviously weren't there live for the draw, but you were streaming it.
Streamed it from Tangalooma. Got the Tangalooma. I bought a shirt from the gift shop in case anyone's wondering.
Beautiful. What were your first thoughts on your team?
Look, Chief and I's history is long and illustrious. Our relationship. I've only heard good things about the Iceman from one Kevin Dart, and Donny speaks very highly of Pistol Pete Wills. He speaks, only good things that he said. All in all, I think it's a very good team.
Would you say this is the best team you ever had?
I don't think it's fair to compare teams of years gone by. However, I think it's a very strong team.
If you had to, though, where would you rank it with the teams of the past?
I'd be right near the top for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So you still finish around 7th or 8th, yeah?
Look, what I will say is Jimmy has done very good work on Google Map Sheet, whatever it's called, Google Map Sheet. There's an app that Jimmy uses that I've got onto.
Do you get your directions from that, do you?
And look, I think it's, season 1 I finished 2nd, season 2 I finished 3rd. There were a lot less teams back then. I'll give you the tip. And since then, I think my best finish has been 6th or 7th, which is fine. Which is completely fine.
Isn't it?
Probably. Mid-table obscurity.
No, go ahead.
Mid-table obscurity is fine by me. Fine by me.
Donny, Josh often doesn't play a whole lot of golf leading into the Invitational. This year, however, it's even less again. Do you think this is going to hurt their chances?
Not necessarily. I just think I actually feel sorry for his teammates only because it seems like he's not taking it seriously. And I think really if I was his BC or D grader, I would be quite upset. Does Josh have the quality? Of course he does. I've seen him win the competition at Camden Lakeside. I know he knows the course like the back of his hand. Is the rest of his team good enough? Pete Wills, as Josh mentioned, I think he's the best D grader I've ever had to play with. So that gives a lot of help to his team. We hear about the Iceman a lot. Maverick, Goose, whatever you want to call him. He's got it all. There's one man who's going to have a big job on his hands, and it's going to be Chief Lamana getting Josh out of trouble when he needs him, and I think that's where the downfall is.
Do you think that team will be in trouble in situations on the golf course?
I know we are revealing where they start from. I can't remember where it is, but if they start on a terrible hole or starting on 3rd, the least favourite hole to start on, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. If none of them hit the green, they're bogeying to start.
Chief's last shot on that hole was within 1 metre of the pin.
Was it really?
We can all have good shots. We're all got
So
golf
true.
clubs.
Very prophetic.
Wow. Talk to us about Cherry.
I think Cherry can be a very up and down team. I think they've got the quality, but I'm not sure if it'll come through on the day.
Why is that?
There's one member of the team who's probably hasn't played 6 months. He hasn't played around in about 6 months by the time the invitation will come around, so that's going to hurt him. And you got Chief, who's probably still on a high from last year. He's probably still drunk from last year's win. So he may be hungover halfway through the round. So who knows what will happen? Pete Wills, I think I've said in the past, sometimes Pete Wills was not the D grader to get, but that may look like.
Have you said that?
Can I
I
just
think I
add,
said that.
Pete Wills is a former C grader as well.
He's now D grade.
Yeah. Tony, do you see Cherry as a threat?
Yeah, I think this is Josh's best chance. We say it every year, but I think this is Josh's best chance.
This is truly the year.
Especially if Chief can repeat his heroics that he speaks of that no one really saw last year.
What does Chief need to bring to the table to help Cherry win?
Straight drives, long straight drives. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've said this to Josh. I think David Blizzard has obviously played a lot of golf. He's in his 60s. You would think he's going to be hitting a lot of fairways. Josh hits a lot of fairways. He's a safe golfer who makes a lot of pars. I think Josh getting Chief is the perfect B2er. I think Chief's best drive is better than anyone else in B2. And he could really set them up to have a crack at some holes and make some birdies.
And Josh's short game is second to none, I think.
Yeah, I just see it raining birdies for Team Cherry. I think this is Josh's year. He can't waste it this year.
Can I? What score won it last year?
It's been 7 under the last 2 years.
Is that true?
Yes.
Wow, 700 is a really good score.
And one of them was with Juanito, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Did Marky Dub shoot 700 with Stab and Drakey and Tornado? That's a really good score. Holy moly. Jesus.
Jimmy, what do you think about Cherry this year?
I think this team's going to be a lot of noise, but like a lot of bark, but no bite is my opinion.
You know you have us coming last. You've said that.
Yeah, that's well known. So I don't think you'll be surprised by a prediction where that comes around.
Is this more of a personal thing, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit. I like to see Josh at the bottom of the table, to be honest. And Lamana's still be hurting from his tattoo, so we'll work through that.
Very
I don't think he's going to be in the car. He's going to be jogging. He's not going to want to sit down. I will say, and I've said this to Donnie and Chock off air over the last few days. Question I asked myself was, has Chief Lamana got the respect he deserves as current B-grade champion? I don't think he has. To win, irrespective of the Mediterranean Mick winning it last year, or Mick, or whoever, whatever name he goes by.
That's Mediterranean Mick over there.
Sorry.
Musclebrook Mick, isn't it?
Musclebrook Mick.
Musclebrook Mick. Irrespective of how many shots they may or may not have taken, as the B-grade champion, that's got to carry some weight, hasn't it? It's got to carry some weight.
Big time.
I agree. I don't think Chief has got the respect he deserves. And I did play with a past winning team member of Chief Lamana last week,
Walshy.
D-grader Jared Walsh, who gave me a bit of an insight into the team last year. He said that Chief was very good and hit some amazing drives, which they used plenty of. And he said, as good as Mick Hanley was, there were times where he hit bad shots that were unusable. And Chief stood up. And I think people think that's a bit of a fluke and that he got carried. I don't think so.
Look, I think it's much publicised. We say this about a lot of players, but Chief's good shots are as good as any. I played at Osro with him in the first round against M. Wells, G. Morrison. He was pretty average for large parts, but some of his good shots were absolutely incredible. He had this 6-iron on like 5 or 6. He put it within a foot. Like it was like you couldn't do it if I gave you 100 golf balls, you wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Would Swire have done it? Would Swire
So I would have done it.
I would have done it 50 times out of 100. The other 50 would be in the water.
And there wasn't even water there.
That's why he's got the nickname Swardini.
Okay, I think it's time for some predictions.
Absolutely.
We'll start off with the man in the team. Joshua, where do you have your team?
Famous man. If you don't think your team can win it, you might as well not. What is it? You might as well not play hockey at all, is it? Is that what it is?
Just don't turn up.
Get COVID a week before the tournament? Is that what it was? Sorry, sir. I apologize.
Don't go to the wedding the week before the tournament.
The low blow. I'm sorry, Swar. I didn't. Jimmy, can you edit that out, please? I have Team Cherry in the bridesmaid position in numero dos.
Okay.
Interesting.
Antonio.
I've also got Cherry in second place.
Yep.
Wow.
Tony.
Ian.
I've got Cherry in ninth.
Did the drop?
Well, it's a
Oh,
big
down.
one.
While we're down at the bottom of the table, Jimmy, where have you got them?
14.
Jimmy, fuck you. Fuck you.
Huge range.
Thanks, Jake. I love you, buddy.
And Donnie?
Yeah, again, really unlucky alphabetically. Nah, I've got him. Can they win it? Absolutely. Will they win it? Absolutely not. 8th position.
Hang on. Alphabetically, Cherry would be like third, wouldn't they? Hang on, can we get a start check this one?
Nah, it was out of 8th position teams I had. You guys were at the top of that.
I personally think Cherry should win, but I just think Josh is coasting a bit too much, as someone said before. So they'll slide a little bit down to 3rd position.
Can I just say, as a side note, the ducks and drakes going on in the CYFS Invitational chat around Team Cherry have not gone unnoticed. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. For the rest of you to stand by and watch it happen, you are as guilty as those said people.
Sounds like a bit of paranoia from Camp Cherry. A lot of
Finally-
paranoia. I'm
Sounds
just glad
Cherry
Chief
needs
isn't
all the
taking
help
the
they
bait.
can get.
Finally, all I'll say is, in life is choosing Ben Jones' team to finish first.
Well, that concludes our preview of Team Cherry. Well done, Cherry.
Cherry
Thank
comes
you,
in
thank you.
at a combined total of 7.2. Luckily, Swaz team Platinum was 7 flat, so Josh goes into 8 spots.
Where he usually finishes.
So I bet me $100. No,
Oh.
don't do that. Don't do
On to our bets, Swar and Tony. I believe there was a bet made throughout the week.
Sure was.
Yep. Sure was.
Would you like to talk us through that bet?
Oh, just Blaze to finish ahead of Platinum, really.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe that's the first $100 bet of the year. I
I bet you,
go up against-
Choc, I bet you like 3 weeks ago.
Okay. This is another bet. You thought Alaska were going to be a massive failure. But I said if they finish in the top 3, you pay me $100. And then was it if they finish 8th or lower, I pay you $100?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's
Something
like
like
7th
that.
or 8th. Well, I'm happy
Jeez.
to go through the footage.
Really simplified the bet, eh?
Yeah. And then also, I'd like to say I normally have a bet with Chief Lamana. However, I will not be instigating that bet this year because I don't think we can beat Cherry.
Hey, Jimmy, I'll bet you we win the comp.
Well, I just want to get top 3 now, just so Josh has to pay Chuck $100. I'm happy with that.
That's true.
Thank you, Jimmy. I hope you play well.
Jimmy, I love nothing more than seeing you play bad. Just know that. Just I want you to know that.
Well, you yet to see it, right? If you haven't looked back through the stats, I put it all on the Google Sheets, the Google Maps, whatever you called it.
Hang on, here we go.
Google Map sheets.
When I was
Yeah.
the A grader, we finished 3rd, and I'm a wanker.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was 14 teams that year.
Look, finishing second in a 3-man event was brilliant. I
good.
think
Yeah.
that goes unnoticed.
Yeah, but I finished first that year, so get over it.
We are now going to go through the starting holes for each team. You got them right there. Swar, do you want to run us through the starting holes for each team?
Yes, we've got Royal off the first hole. We've got Harbour and Blaze off the second hole. We've got Cherry and Snow off the 3rd. Sky off the 4th. Platinum and Sapphire both off the 5th. Pink off the 6th hole. Midnight off the 7th. Lemon off the 8th. Imperial and Apple both off the 9th. And Alaska off the 10th.
This is a proper admin question. on the second, for example, who tees off first? Because this is always a
Well,
problem. We always have
It's
this
draw.
discussion.
It's draw
I think
order. So
I think
Har-
Blaze go
Harbour-
first. Maintain being
Josh,
second
yeah,
in line.
Josh is right. Blaze tee off first, leaving Harbour on the tee box closest to Royal, who will be playing the first hole.
Correct, which means Harbour will be the second team in the rotation.
Yes.
So we all
Snow will tee
Snow
off
go
the par 3
3,
third first.
go 5, etc., etc. Do we all agree to that?
yes.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah. So obviously going back to that stat I brought up earlier, the most over par 2 holes were the 10th and the 5th last year. So that's got Alaska off the 10th and Sapphire and Platinum off the 5th.
Is 10 that long par 5? Is that the one where you like drive? Is that the really small green?
10's the one that comes back to the clubhouse.
Ten
And
long
next to the
par
water.
3. Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
absolute
The par
sea
three.
in the middle of the
That's-
territory.
It usually plays
Yeah.
about 170 to 180 from memory.
It's a genuine long hole.
There's shit on the left, shit on the right, so it's it's a
Yeah.
quite a narrow
Yeah.
hole. Which Jimmy and I start on, which I actually don't mind starting on it, to be honest. Get the shit holes out of the way early, so I'm fine with it.
Did you
That's
say
right,
5?
Chapman.
Is 5 the other one? Is 5 the long par 4?
Yeah.
Is that after the long drive off the
Correct.
green? Is that
Correct.
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long hole.
Chock, from your calculations, I don't know if you did it, but what were the easiest holes considered? Do you know?
I did do it. I wrote it down. The easiest 3 holes were 2 par 5s. The 12th was the easiest.
Interesting.
Then the 6th was the second easiest, and the first hole was the next easiest.
Yeah, right.
Really?
Yeah, first is quite short. Like you can drive it into the water there, so you just got to lay one up and then chip one on. It's
Yeah,
not
very
too
wide
big.
fairway,
Yeah.
short hole.
And everything rolls back down to the green too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is 12 the short? Is 12 the small green? Is that the one I'm thinking about?
12 is the small green at the bottom of the hill.
The bottom
Yeah.
of the hill, yeah.
So
Can you get there in 2? Is that
when
a
we
2?
played it the first year, that was the one that was the temporary hole. So there was 2
Temporary
holes on
green.
one.
So
the
that
12th one down the
12th
back.
hole, the total score on that hole from all the teams was 9 under par, which I thought was massive.
Wow.
Yeah, we eagled that last year. I remember we putted from just off the edge for an eagle.
Right.
I find it hard to keep a ball on that green to begin with. So I'm surprised it's one of them.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's surprising.
Feelings. Mm.
Has anyone played the course recently? Has it changed since last year?
Not that I know of, but obviously we heard before Stav's team will be out there on the 10th. I know my team's out there. Chock, you'll be out there too in your team. Most of your team, 25% of your team from memory.
Yeah.
So one player. It's good. Swar, has your team got any inklings to go out there or?
I think it's just going to be me from my team out there on the 10th, but
That's all you
I'm
need.
happy to represent my team.
What tee are
we'll
we
try and
playing
get-
off? Are we off the whites or blues or blacks or whatever it is?
Will be off the Blues. I'm pretty sure it was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blues, yeah.
Blues. Okay.
In coming podcasts, we will reveal what we are doing post the end of the round. We'll more than likely be having the function at Camden Lakeside with an offering for those who may want to come along after. I'm thinking now, because we do have a younger community building, maybe we go back to our Cars Park theory that we had last time. Rather than a pub, it might be a bit more open, kids with families, etc. I think that was a good spot. Doesn't have to be Cars Park, but a park that's got shaded area, etc. That's something we haven't brought up, but we'll talk through that as a committee. Tony, were the thing that we spoke about looking at ordering, I don't want to reveal it because we will have it for a secret. Has that been ordered?
Yes, they should be here on time, hopefully.
Perfect. So look out for that in your bags on the day. We will be having committee representation on you somewhere. So look out for that. That'll be a bit of fun coming through shortly. Jimmy, the shirts have been ordered through Kebby D.
Yep, all sent away, shirt sizes, everything. They're all in hand, so they should be ready for the day.
Create a Facebook Marketplace type scenario. I'm going to have 2 red shirts by the end of this. I don't want 2 red polo shirts. If somebody wants a large polo shirt, I'm all ears.
I reckon we have a bit of a trade off. If you're playing in your one, bring your freshly washed year before shirt. Maybe if you want to trade it all, trade it up, trade it down, whatever you want to do. We'd have that available on the day, I reckon. So that's a good shout.
Yeah. Are we doing anything for food at Camden Lakeside, or is it just buy your own?
We will discuss it offline with the monetary funds that we've got available to us. I think there was the option to do that, and we'll come back with our next podcast further with that. I would say.
No problem.
As they say in work lingo, we can take that offline, Chuck. Take that
Okay, I'll take that offline.
We'll touch base later. Yeah.
Correct. Just conscious of time, because it takes about an hour to download and send to Jimmy to get uploaded.
I'm not working tomorrow, so it's all right.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
What's that for us, Jimmy?
No, nothing much more to add. Yeah, no, nothing. That's it for me.
Swireman, anything?
No, not really.
Perfect. Yep.
All good here as well.
Choco, what do you got for us?
All good. Just looking forward to. Oh, I might get out to Cogra this afternoon, being Friday. Might get out there, have a little hit if anyone wants to come along.
Hopefully the rain holds out as predicted. I think you should be fine. You might find me there. Yeah, that's a shout out to anyone. What time do you think you'll be there, Choc? Because people might be able to jump on if the podcast goes out.
3:30ish, something like that.
There you go. Feel free to call Choc. Look up his number in the invitational chat if you're looking for I won't publicise it.
There is one thing I was going to add is the undercover golfer has told me there's a couple of D graders actually getting lessons down at Cogra this Saturday.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Nice one, Bob.
Yeah, so we'll see.
That's
what
unreal.
comes of that. Yeah.
Interesting.
So those that are playing early on Saturday morning might actually catch them.
Wow.
It's not Gary giving the lessons, is it?
No, it's Matt from the Pro Shop. Is what I've led to believe. So yeah, should be good.
Unreal. Alrighty.
It's exciting people putting in like that. It's great to see D graders getting into it. There's some A graders that haven't picked up a club in 6 months, so good to see the changes in scenery.
Also hasn't paid his internet bill by the sound looks of things.
Correct. Choc, you hosted. I'm happy for you to sign off for us.
Yep. Thanks for joining us, Swar. Do you want to finish us off?
All right. May you check your stats before I check them.
All right.
See y'all.
See you.